About to bring out our next guest, PARISALEXA. Give it up for her. Cider, some bubbly.
Sure.
Need some? Wet your beak a little bit. There we go. Tap. I really got a clipboard, y'all. I've been telling Airman since we started this, I need a clipboard. Get my clipboard swag up. Shout out Isaiah, wherever you're at. How are you?
I'm good.
That's actually our first time meeting, so I'm getting to know you a little bit better.
So-
You know what I mean? I'm AJ.
Hi. I'm Paris.
So my first time actually hearing about you was, I want to say, when you performed at Sound Off.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like 2016?
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it's years ago now.
Looking back on that, how was that? Was that like your first big time performance? Or
Yeah, I'd been performing like around like where I lived for a while, and like other stuff. I did like music education programs and stuff like that. So I've kind of been, and like I did musical theater, but like as an established like artist, that was the first time where I had to like decide my stage name.
Oh,
And,
shoot.
Yeah, and that was a big deal. I tried to like think about, it's like Paris Destiny or like Star. Like nothing was happening. So I just went with my actual name, which my middle name is Alexa.
Okay.
So-
Flows well. That's good enough.
Yeah,
right
my
there.
parents did me that solid. Yeah. So.
Easy. So how was that? Because you were just performing by yourself, right? Were you nervous?
Yeah. Oh,
doing
yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think I did the semifinals and I was like super nervous for that. And then I actually, so Travis Thompson was in my round and I actually like beat him and I could not believe it. And I like told him afterwards, I was like, I would have given it to you. Like, I didn't even think I deserved, like, I was just like not, I was so nervous and like so whatever. And so going to the finals, a bunch of people were telling me like, cause I had my loop station. They were telling me, you got to move around. You got to like be an actual performer. And I'm a songwriter.
present.
So all I got to do is move the paper on the pen. And so up until that point, I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to like put on a show. But that was like the finals was the first time that I actually like moved around on the stage.
Kind of got the crowd to react and all that. Yeah, that stage presence is definitely a thing for sure. Like,
For sure.
I've seen a couple concerts like big names and they're just not really like the music's solid, of course, but like as far as like seeing you live and you're just standing in one spot the whole time.
Yeah, it's not the show.
Nah, it's not the vibe.
Right.
So you're born and raised Seattle?
No, I actually I was born in New Jersey and then I
shoot.
moved when I was 7. Yeah, whoop whoop, go Jersey. and I moved when I was 7. And so yeah.
And you've been here ever since?
Yeah, I live in like, well, technically, I don't like telling people.
Yeah, I feel you.
I really don't, because I don't really fuck with it that much. But like, I live in Bellevue.
Oh, Bellevue. No, I feel you though.
I know.
That's a total different vibe from Seattle.
It is not a vibe
and
at
from
all.
Tacoma. It really just, man.
It's not Seattle. It's not Tacoma. I try to just say that I sleep there because most of my days are spent like in the actual city of Seattle, and I try to spend as little time at home as possible. But yes, I grew up in Bellevue. I had to go to school every day in Bellevue.
Damn, what school you go to?
I had to go to.
I don't even know no Bellevue
Well, I didn't
schools.
really
I'm out here
get-
fighting. What school did you go to? Oh, yeah, I heard of that one.
Nah, yeah, I heard of it. It was Sammamish. It was not. And
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So you still didn't know?
Yeah, I heard that one before. So, what got you into music?
I've kind of always been into music. My mom says that I could like hum before I could talk, and so it's kind of just always been like my thing. Like even in high school, like I was saying, like I wasn't one of those girls that like I didn't have a thing really. I mean, I played volleyball, but like I was just the girl that like skipped class to write songs in the bathroom. And, like, I was skipping class like everybody. Nobody was, like, going to school. So I wasn't going to school like everyone else. I was, like, cool.
Yeah.
But when people found out what I was doing, they were like, oh, like they were, cutting class to be reckless. And, like, I was just by myself in the bathroom. You go, ah. That was me.
Someone walks in the bathroom, washes their hands, you're hearing
All the time. They'd be like, oh, hey, Paris. I'm like, hey, continue.
How'd you get into like the songwriting? Like how was your first goal at songwriting? Like you just got the pen and paper and it just came to you naturally?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like when I really, really got my start. I mean, my mom says that she played like straight Destiny's Child through her whole pregnancy. And so maybe that contributed a lot to it. I
Got
think
some references,
that would be
early
that'd
reference.
make a lot of sense. But
I just seen them actually live at Coachella.
No, you didn't.
I swear on everything. Beyonce brought them
No, I know about.
Yeah,
I know.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was tripping.
That's like historic.
Yeah,
you better
I'm part of history.
You're gonna be able to tell people that for the rest of your life.
I saw Beyonce. She brought Destiny Child. Y'all don't know nothing about no real performers.
I'm a little freaked out. That's crazy. That's wild. I would have done a lot of things to see that.
I like really lost my voice for 2 days after that.
I believe
real
it.
shit.
I believe
like,
that shit.
I'm trying to talk to people and I'm just, my lips was chapped as fuck. Like, man,
it's
I had to do it though.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it. So, your songwriting. I want to talk about.
Yeah, no,
she just got me recollected Beyonce on stage.
I'm really jealous of you. That's amazing. Yeah, but I think forever, I've just always loved songs, and like, I remember when I was younger, my mom told me like, that song, like, that sounds like a Taylor Swift song. And I've always written like all different types of genres. When I was younger, I loved like country music, rock, like alternative, everything.
Wow, okay.
Everything. And so like that kind of allowed me to just start writing songs as songs and not just like, songs to sing. And then, my mom being my mom, she like put me in a bunch of, or like signed me up for like songwriting camps and stuff like. So throughout high school, I was like going to Miami and I did like Grammy camp in California. I did like this young arts thing.
Camp. Wow.
So like, yeah, I learned about how to actually like make songwriting my career. And so that's kind of how I started. I was pretty much on a trajectory I was going to go to Berkeley. I got a songwriting scholarship and then everything. And then after Sound Off, I kind of just was like, oh, this is like second semester senior year. So this is like late for me to, change my course path. But I was just like, nah. And I was already not going to school, so I was like, like going to college without my mom there, $60,000 a year. I'm going to just go ahead and do them this solid, and like, I'm not going to school. So I didn't go, and it was just supposed to be a gap year, and then it ended up being more than a gap year because I just kept gapping. And then, but during that time, like, I was like, going to LA and like working with like major labels to write songs for like major artists. So it was like, I was actually doing what I wanted to do. But like I said, after Sound Off,
things changed.
People started liking my stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm an artist. Mm-hmm. So ever since then, like, I just been trying to do both. And
how's that?
It's wild.
Workload.
It's a wild journey, especially being like something completely I never thought that I would be ever. Like,
but you're still so young, is what's crazy.
Yeah,
like, you're only 19.
Yeah, I'm 19.
Like fresh 19 or going into 20.
I'm like a senior 19-year-old. Like
okay, I feel you. You're out here aged.
My birthday's July.
Oh, okay. That's the crazy part. Like, you're just now, you ain't even scratched the surface yet. I feel like you're not even old enough to go to the bars yet.
I'm not.
You're about to kill the game. The 21 and ups.
It's really not cool. It's not that cool.
So Bloom was your first major solo debut.
Yeah.
That project.
Yeah, I had like a lot of music, that I did, like I made myself, but then, and I like released on SoundCloud and stuff. But Bloom was like my first major like project that I put out, and
blood, sweat, and tears into that project.
Yeah, It was a lot of.
That's some real mature music.
Thank you.
For your age, young lady.
A lot of people saying that shit.
You got an old soul.
Thank you.
Leaves and Seasons that's my banger.
Yeah.
Of course, the track with Mr. DC. That's just the whole project. Actually, can you? Is there a story behind that? Like, how'd you come up with the name for that? Bloom.
Well, I wrote Bloom, or I had like the urge to write Bloom or something like Bloom. I was in LA and I was, writing for artists. And when I'm in LA, I'm not an artist at all, pretty much. And when I come here, I'm like solely focused on my artistry. So I was there, and I was top lining for all these artists, writing all these like radio type hits, and they're just throwing all these beats at me, and I was like, this is just so like I'm writing about literally nothing. And, you know, the check's going to be nice, but I just don't feel fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came back home, I was kind of in the middle of like, kind of like falling in love with my best friend for 6 years.
Whoa.
And so I was like, you know what? That's kind of like a pretty big engulfing story that's happening in my life. And so I just kind of like came back home, smoked a ton of weed, and then
shout out to weed.
Shout out to weed 420A. And like I don't know, I guess I was just high and looking at flowers and shit, and I was like, wow, I feel like this. Like I feel like a flower. And yeah, it's like most people are looking for some profound answers. I was literally just straight up weed. And then yeah, so I started writing, and like I came up with the idea of Bloom, and then like kind of the pieces started to fall together. So I had the song Dandelions I wrote like earlier that year. It was called You Already Know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just called it Dandelion because we wrote Gardens first, and the verse that Mr. DC sings, I actually wrote it, and the first line is, what is the first line? I don't remember, but it says sunflowers, dandelions, poppies blooming all around me. So I was gonna name the song Sunflowers, Dandelions, and Poppies, and so sunflowers couldn't work, so I just did dandelions and poppies. So that's why there's poppies on there, dandelions, leaves and seasons. They kind of just all kind of came together, cross-pollinate, because in the beginning of the beat there's a baby, and I was thinking about making babies, and then cross-pollinate kind of just came like that, and then garden. Yeah, they all just kind of like came. It really doesn't have anything to do with me. I like to think of myself as like a vessel, and music just kind of like goes through me and then comes out. So
that's amazing.
It's cool.
So how the collab with you and Mr. DC come about? What's the history there between you guys?
Well,
two amazing voices like that.
It was cool. I knew David from like, I think I met David the same time that I met like all the people from Sound Off, Travis, Campana from Cosmos, and like we'd worked together on a couple people's stuff, and then I just knew I wanted him like on a record. I was like, bro, like we got to do it. And so this guy that I met, who was an incredible producer named Antro, he produced half of Bloom. He sent me this beat, and I was sitting on it, and I couldn't come up with anything, so I sent it to David, and I was like, yo, like, just tell me if you come up with anything. And he sent me like a couple of days later the hook, and literally within like 30 minutes I was like, this is it, and sent him back the whole entire song, and both him and Antero, and they were like, whoa, like, okay, well, I guess we're done. And so we didn't touch it for like a year and a half.
Wow.
And then Garden, and then we just recorded it, and then, but yeah, people don't know we wrote that like hella long ago, and we did not expect for it to be
timeless.
We didn't expect any, like, it has scatting in it. It's super jazzy. Like, we did not expect. I mean, I didn't expect Bloom to even do well. Honestly, I just was thinking that I was writing commercial music, and like, this is just what felt fulfilling to me, and the fact that like other people related or reacted, like. Every time people say they like it, I just get like freaked out because it was just my little old story.
Wow,
yeah. So
first
it did
project.
Yeah.
And I seen that you announced that Flexa, your next project, is finished.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Can you speak on a little bit about that? Anything? Are you sticking to the same lane as Bloom, or
no?
Got a whole different sound? What's up?
So like, I guess I kind of whether I meant to do this or not, I kind of tied my artistry to me being a songwriter, and me being like just a lover of music in general. So I don't really have a real like genre. People want to know like what's my sound. Don't have one. It's just like music. Good. And so I'm really excited for the summer. I'm trying to get like just like I want every good memory this summer possible. I feel like the weather's just is gonna start acting right. Like
Same.
I just felt this like thing coming on, and like so also what's going on in my life. Like it was just a time for me to just like, it's okay to flex a little bit, like I feel like I'm so self-deprecating by nature that like I just allowed myself like, all right, well, if I'm gonna flex, I'm not gonna talk about my VVS whatevers and my Cuban links, because like that's just not me. Even though yes, I'm from Bellevue, but no, that's still that's not me at heart. I'm just around the fakes, but not me. But I was like, all right, well, if I'm gonna flex, then have to be authentic about it. So I like talk about the stuff that I have like One of the songs called LV, and it's about this little Louis Vuitton bag that I have. That's my mom's. And ironically enough, she literally like went away on a business trip this morning and decided to take it back after she knows that I wrote a song about it and like how I love it. And I was like a gift, and she was like, "I never gave it to you." So
That's cool. Wrote a whole song about
whole
it.
song. She knows too. She's like, she just be doing that.
I'll let you hold on to it for a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I was like, really, you have to do it. I like checked my phone before I came on stage. She was like, "I'm sorry for taking the bag." I was like, "It's already gone, so just go ahead." But anyway, yeah, so I wrote like about, I tried to be authentic about it. And yeah, I like say I don't have swag, but I have like the bag. And I don't
I hear you though.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It's really ironic that I'm like, it's still settling in that she actually took it like this morning. But
when's that drop?
That's gonna drop May 25th.
May 25th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the rest of the songs are like, it's like the vibe for the summer. So
okay, we got the summer anthems. All right, coming.
Yeah.
Ready to kill it?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Gonna sing a couple songs.
All right.
Cool.
Let's get it.